All right, y'all. Today we're looking at this boudoir photography business. We're going to see if it's local search or if its city search has BSS. Also see if it's hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. Nice. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video here in the profile, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph here in white, got our highest intent people way over on the left. Those are the people searching on Google and social search for, boudoir photo shoot in their city. And they're searching that literally right now. And we talked about that here with BSS. Those are the only videos we talk about here. And way over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. So those are the peeps that ain't searching for a boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And many of them, most of them actually have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. So we reached them with, interruption ads via Facebook and Instagram. But we only talk about that on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And right now we're currently only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. So when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google, 0 slots extra bad because approximately 80% of Google searches never reach page 2. So they're page 1 and done searches. And as a result, for on page 2, we're invisible to approximately 4/5 of the market. So, our business is dying. We'll be dying pretty fast. And as a result, only 1 slot on Google page 1 is bad as well because, there's 10 organic slots, page 1 on Google, and there's probably going to be 9 other boudoir photographers. And guess what? Everyone else is probably going to have 1 slot, so we don't stand out. And what's the buyer going to do? They're going to click open everyone's website, get a quote from everyone, price shop everyone, compare everyone, blah, 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 negotiate, drive down margins, ask for a lower price. It's really, really, kind of awful for businesses. And 0-1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are, number 1, market saturation, and number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, most people know about this. Over time, people get new iPhone, they get new cameras, and some of those peeps, they throw up the Google Maps, my business profile. They say, yeah, I shoot boudoir now. Some, they also throw up their websites on Google, or throw up their websites saying they're a boudoir photographer, and they're trying to rank page 1 on Google, competing with us, and they're posting them in the mom Facebook groups saying that, basically saying that they offer boudoir shoots now. So it's basically, saturation, more boudoir photographers, more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller. That happened a ton during COVID. A lot of people lost their job, but guess what? Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with awesome camera. So a ton of flood of boudoir photographers came into the market. Now, falsely page 1 equality, basically no one knows about this yet. This is where boudoir photographers have basically accepted, or, kind of assumed that, every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And as a result, maybe they're in slot 8 on page 1. Then there's some market saturation. Some people ranked above them in their new websites. Now they're slot 3 on page 2, and they're like, oh, well, it's normal. Every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slot on, page 1 on Google. And so sitting there hoping that a few of those people, delete their website and Google de-indexes it so they can hopefully get back onto page 1. But this is 100% the wrong belief, the wrong thought process, because we've actually learned through testing that Google will give us as many slots on page 1 as we want, as we put in the effort for. So, and we've learned this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days using our new methodology we developed. So that's why I know the false belief of page 1 quality is exactly that, a false belief. Next, we know a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. So yeah, BSS 0-1 slots page 1 Google search. So we got 0 slots for invisible, it's approximately 80% of Google searches, approximately 80% of the market. obviously we're disappearing. If we only got one slot on page one of Google, we blend in with everyone else. Everyone else has got one slot on page one of Google. We're not looking at anything special. We're essentially invisible as well. In both these cases, disappearing boudoir photographer is literally a warning light, a flashing signal, a canary in the coal mine, where it means our boudoir photography business itself is on its way to disappearing. So what we've discovered is BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And we discovered this because we invented it. And it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords in our city. So we rank there as many slots as we can. And this is kind of like the ice or the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains on the backside, the east side down in South America. So that snow, what it does is it melts off the backside. And when it melts off the backside, it goes into small streams, forms small rivers, and eventually all that water collects into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page one on Google. But everything starts up top with social search saturation, S cubed methodology. And this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually allow them to have a chance to still grow their business in the presence of massive and increasing market saturation. The only other, and to give them that shot in a relatively quick time frame, the only other thing solution I've heard for that, solving this problem, is actually have a large, well-known brand, but that takes like 5 to 10 years, so that kills the relatively quickly kind of property. And we ain't got 5 to 10 years, dude. AI's here, AI's taking people's jobs. We got to fortify our position in the market right now. And actually, through my estimation, I believe SQ methodology can actually speed up the creation of a large, well-known brand by, my estimate is 8x, 8 times normal. It's because we're going to be seen on so many surfaces, ranking so many places, being seen everywhere. That's my estimates. So imagine if you're, you got a large, well-known brand and you're using SQ methodology. I mean, you're basically essentially unbeatable. So now we're going to go through an example of basically of, let's say we're in, all right, we are going to Salt Lake City, Utah, SLC. Let's say there's 1 million boudoir photographers there. We're one of them. Everybody's got their, boudoir photographer website. And they say that, well, everyone's trying to rank page one on Google. So massive competition there. And we're like, dude, we ain't got no brand. We actually got SQ methodologies are our only hope to compete here. So let's say we crank up SQ methodology to the max, and we're ranking for the first 300 keywords for the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords in our city. And we're taking the first 300 slots on social search, which then flows on to Google search. And Google search is, 10 slots per page, 10 organic slots. So we are, we are actually taking basically the first 30 pages on Google. So basically, anytime any boudoir buyer searches for boudoir anywhere in our city or digitally, we're basically the only one they can find on social search or Google search. So whose business will be growing even if there's 1 million total boudoir photographers in the city? Most likely ours, because we're essentially the only one that can be found. We're blocking everyone else out. So, and whose businesses will be disappearing and, slowing down? Obviously, the 999,999 other boudoir photographer competitors in Salt Lake City, Utah. So this is, that'd be like S cubed to the max, but this is the opportunity SQ methodology gives a chance to happen by using it. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. So obviously we get the initial benefit of more slots page one on Google. We also get another initial benefit, which actually boudoir photographers really like this one, where every new slot we get on Google page one, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because again, now we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. They're page one and done searches. So we're essentially making these boudoir photographers invisible to approximately 80% of the market. So the bulk of the market, basically, 4/5 of people, that's basically everyone. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having 3 out of 10 slots page one of Google search. That's because everyone else, all the other boudoir photographers, basically everyone else can have one slot, so we're going to be looking way better than them. Our 3 slots to their 1. And the off chance, a very, very rare chance, somebody has 2 slots, yeah, we're going to be dominating them as well. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. We finally have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now my results using S-cubed methodology here. So I want to rank for the term right here, BLCS boudoir. I wanted to dominate page 1 for this. So I started with 0 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search. I utilized S-cubed methodology for 10 straight days. And let's see my results. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So from 0 to 10 slots, Google search page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots, Google search page 1 in only 10 days, purely utilizing S-cubed methodology. So moving on to our main event here, we're going to check this boudoir photography business, see if it's got BSS for local and city search, even if it's in its GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 page 1 slots. So let's go. All right, I'm going to Virginia Beach. All right, that's fine. So let's check this out. Virginia Beach. Boom, we got 1. And boom, we got 2. Okay. All right, so we got 2 out of 10 for local. So we do not have BSS, but we did not hit the GBC recommend minimum of 3 out of 10 slots. Page 1 on Google. All right, now we're going to go to our city search, Norfolk, Virginia. All right, so let's check this out. So let's see. Let's see if we got any here. No fire, so we're at 0 to 10. And yeah, city's always harder to rank for than local. So we're at 2 out of 10. Page 1, Google for local. So we don't have BSS for local, we do have BSS for city, but for both of them, we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google for either of them. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local search, your city local searches, city searches with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you got 0-1 slots for any of them, at least one of them, and or you're not reaching the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for at least one of them, and you've accepted the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. So we can actually take as many slots on page 1 Google search as we want. Then, well, Andrew's saying S-cubed methodology is the only solution to give you those slots, and it's actually something you've been waiting for. And you're loving the initial benefits, more slots, page 1 Google search, kick in competing boudoir photographers off page 1 Google search, relegating them to page 2 or page 3 or deeper, and never actually having to kind of deal with them as competitors anymore, making them disappear to approximately 80% of Google searches, so approximately 80% of the market. And you understand the market saturation, yeah, more peeps buy new gear eventually become boudoir photographers, yeah, they kind of trickle in over time. But you're looking ahead and you're seeing, okay, AI is taking peeps jobs right now, and AI is definitely going to get better and better, so it's going to take more and more peeps jobs over time. And you understand, last time that happened, lots of peeps lost their job. COVID, massive wave of boudoir photographers came into the marketplace. You're like, uh-oh, massive market saturation is coming, and you're realizing you actually need to fortify your position on page 1, which means have so many links that Google wants to rank on page 1 that there's not enough space to rank them all. So you're actually link stuffing page 2, 3, 4 onward, and basically guaranteeing no current boudoir photographer can get onto page 1, and basically no future boudoir photographer that comes after AI takes their job can ever get onto page 1. And you're saying, well, how to get that many links? So you're saying, oh, SQ methodology, that's the only solution. I can give you that fortification. And you're also understanding that when we successfully execute SQ methodology every single day, we're actually creating we're actually creating like these invisible thematic keyword columns that are plugging into our brand, like kind of 360 degrees around our brand. And these are building up back-end keyword AI mindshare for the AI systems, AI searchers out there. And so every day we do this, successfully execute SQ methodology, we're actually increasing the probability that we show up here in AI overview. The most premium placement, we cannot purchase this. And so that's a future benefit of SQ methodology. Another future benefit of SQ methodology is we are actually higher probability that we show up in AI search. So ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Google, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. And this is huge. Increasing its probability every single day is huge because more and more people using AI search every single day. Last time I did AI search for Boudoir photographer in a city, I actually looked and it recommended me 3. So I went to look manually on Google and Facebook. Hey, how many boudoir photographers are actually in the city? Dude, there's like 60. So if AI is only recommended 3, we gotta get there. We gotta have so much back end AI keyword mindshare momentum that AI has to give recommend those positions to us. And you're also like the fact that my current plan is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city. So you're like, and yeah, you can get all these benefits, but also you can prevent your competitors from getting all these benefits, allowing you to build up a massive like AI mindshare gap, back-end AI keyword mindshare gap for the increased probability of recommended through AI overview and recommended through AI search. And you can actually deny your competitors getting that. So basically you're able to build up a massive gap between you and your competitors and basically make it so big that current competing boudoir photographers can never achieve it or reach it, and future boudoir photographers can never that come in after AI takes their jobs can never catch you. So you decide you're a first mover on this, you can't miss out, and you actually want you're thinking conversely, if some other peeps, if one of your competitors were to get on the sign up with me first, you would actually lose out on all the benefits. Your competitor would begin all these links page 1. Have so many links page 1 that actually be overflowing to the future page 2, 3, 4. You would be relegated to page 2 or deeper, and we would obviously have the goal of making you have no chance to ever get to page 1. And then we'd be building a massive keyword, back-end AI keyword, kind of momentum, mindshare to get recommended AI overview, Google search, and with all the AI search apps. And for you to compete, you'd actually have to go rederive S-cubed methodology on your own, and you'd never have any idea if you've derived it. Well, you'd have to drive it for first time for yourself. You'd never know if you successfully 100% derived it correctly. And then you'd have to equal our execution every single day. And if you did that, you'd simply be maintaining the gap that we've already massively built ahead of you. And then once that happens, you would actually have to 2 to 3x our execution every single day to start closing that gap and pulling that back-end AI mindshare away from me and your competitor's brand back towards you. But since you're not even 100% confident you've derived it correctly in the first place, it's hard to put in that much effort to something you're not confident in. And when you actually think about it, you're like, dude, who's got 80 hours per day to do all this stuff? So you decide, screw that. You're actually going to be the first mover in your city, get all these benefits. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed for new patient intake, but when we do open our DMs for new patient intake, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify.